What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. The show must go on. We got an Abyss Actor duel for you guys to check out, and it's going to be facing off against Neospatians. Neospatians have a pretty good opening hand, especially if he can go first. Got the one card I sold in Neospace Connector, hit a potential hand trap out of your opponent's hand, or just any card that you don't want to deal with. And he also has impermanence for defense, so this would have been a really good hand if he went first, but he is going second against Abyss Actors, and Abyss Actors are not really doing much in his first turn. He's just going to Pendulum Summon to set that ceremony and then just kind of pass turn. No Isold or anything, or excuse me, no Electromite. His opponent goes for Connector into Isold, gets a search, does not summon off of Isold, which I thought was a little weird, but I guess that, maybe the only card he can summon off Isold would be another copy of Connector, or maybe he just doesn't run enough equip spells. Maybe he just uses it generally as kind of a search card, so it's all good. His opponent finally is going to go into that Electromite, says, hey Cap, might as well go into it. Pendulum Summon monsters back. He's not getting the effect because he does hit the impermanence, and his opponent is just going to Pendulum Summon a couple of monsters. Now, he's going to threaten him here, but keep in mind, he's not in any actual danger of getting killed because he does have Next. In worst case scenario, he can use Next as an actual battle trap, and he can just summon back his, Neos to potentially stop an attack. So he's not actually in danger here of dying or anything like that, just in case you guys thought he has to be careful. Nah, he's actually perfectly fine, but he gets rewarded for, I guess, kind of pushing the limit because he gets the Regeki, and I thought, all right, this guy's gonna get like super punished because my man's got the Regeki and like he has the perfect counter for this. Actually doesn't need it though, because he's gonna go Covert Contact to try to draw some new cards. Then he top decks, or he gets the Miracle Contact, and this is going to get him his answer. So he's not even gonna need it. He's going to go ahead and summon the Cosmo Neos, and it's not exactly the easiest thing in the world to summon. However, this guy is incredibly strong when he hits the field, basically like a Shockmaster. It makes it so your opponent can't activate cards for like the rest of the turn. In addition to that, it nukes your opponent's board during the end phase. So I'm like, dude, he's gonna completely wreck your board. You see in the end phase, just, oh man, that is just nuking his opponent's entire board. Yes, it comes at the cost of the Cosmos Neos being put back into the extra deck, but it's really not that big of a deal because he still has a whole bunch of cards in his hand. But here is the problem, and this is the ultimate debate, man. I think this is either 200 IQ or just complete luck. I'm gonna go with complete luck. He ends up nuking his opponent's set, Abyss Grip Opening Ceremony. If you guys don't know what this card does, yeah, this is the worst card that you could ever actually blow up when your opponent has set on the field, because it allows them to draw until he has 5 cards. Look at this. He just goes +5 off of his opponent, nuking his board. Like, how do you even do that? At this point, I feel like his opponent has made the last mistake he will ever make in this duel, and he's going to go ahead and probably try to attack for game. He is going to use the copy of Infinite Impermanence, which it was okay, and he was trying to follow that up with a Next. Problem is, he activated it in the same column as the Impermanence, so it ends up being negated. I feel like he was tilted, man. When you see your opponent have their entire board nuked and then they end up drawing 5 cards because you nuked their board, I feel like you're just kind of tilted at that point. You're probably not even thinking about the duel. You're like, Cap, how did I throw that one away? So that's pretty much a wrap on that duel. Next duel is going to be Cyber Dragons versus Danger Dark World. Danger Dark World still has the ability to turbo through its deck like nobody's business. The ceiling of the deck has been lowered because they don't have Firewall Dragon anymore, but it can still make some good plays. You can still drop Titanic Galaxy number 38. He has the card Destruction. And yeah, this is like a super turbo build where you're basically looking to go through about 98, somewhere between 85 and 90% of your deck in the first turn. And it's interesting because the board he's going to end on doesn't look that impressive, but there is actually a method to the madness. You guys will see what that actually is. So he's using Drag Down. He's just, drawing more cards, trying to complete the board, etc., etc. Don't worry, it'll be, he'll establish the board pretty soon. You always want to end on at least one rank 8 with Dark World. If you don't accomplish that, then I don't think you played the deck right, especially if you get a free summon off of Saryuja. Like, there's no way you shouldn't be able to get all 3 of your Grapphas in the graveyard, let alone at least, some of the danger monsters that are level 8 as well. So you can see he's getting the level 8s established. activates more draw power in trade-in and advanced draw and all this good stuff. And now this is the final board, right? And it doesn't look very good. You're like, damn, Cap, this guy did all that for one negation. Like, that just seems incredibly mediocre and average. Why would you just end on a board with one negation? However, he does have a lot of disruption against his opponent, and I want you guys to see, because it's actually a non-hard once per turn effect that's gonna be stupid this duel. So he's gonna contact, so bye-bye Saryuja. He's going to summon Dragon Core, or he's going to summon Cyber Dragon Core, and this is the card that's going to do the work. The Dark World Brainwashing. I think I shit-talked this card to hell and back, but it's going to do a lot of work. Basically, you have to have 3 or more Dark Worlds in your hand, and when your opponent activates a monster effect, you make that effect become, well, you bounce one of your Dark World monsters on your field to your hand, and then you make that effect become your opponent randomly discards a card from your hand. So basically, it triggers all your Dark Worlds as if they would have used, I don't know, confiscation on your Dark World monster. And it's actually quite insane when you have cards to bounce. So what he does is he discards a gold, right? He bounces gold, discards it. So what happens is gold triggers, it blows up 2 monsters and summons itself. And you're like, oh, that was actually kind of sweet, Cap. But can he use it again? He's going to go for Cyber Dragon Nova. His opponent says, all right, I'll just use Dark World Brainwashing again. I will bounce the same gold to our hand. This time he discards Silva. Silva's going to summon itself because it was discarded by his opponent's card effect, and he gets 2 cards out of his opponent's hand. He's going to go for Cyber Dragon Affinity. Brainwashing activates. Cyber Dragon Affinity activates. Brainwashing activates. Not a hard once per turn, by the way. Konami, what were you doing when you designed this card? It's actually OP, Kappa. He's going to go ahead and he's going to summon the Silva. The Dark World Graphic activates, and then finally he uses his last card, Overload Fusion, but you know, he still had the Titanic Galaxy the entire time. So essentially he used this card, what, like 4 or 5 times during that turn to make it so his opponent never got any real monster effects off, and it was actually legitimate. Now, this only works under very specific circumstances, right? You have to have a lot of Dark Worlds in your hand, and you kind of have to have a decent amount of Dark Worlds on your field, but you can see this is kind of what the ceiling of this card can look like. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.